Tumehakikisha kwamba wakulima ambao walikuwa wanapata fertilizer kwa bei ghali 2022, bei ya fertilizer ilikuwa 7,000, leo ni 2,500. Jambo la pili, tumehakikisha kwamba kupitia sera za kubadilisha kilimo tumevuna mahindi ya kutosha. In the last 3 years we have improved our harvest of maize, which is the staple food in our country, from 44 million bags in 2022 to 67 million bags in 2024 and 75 million bags in 2025. Rais Ruto, ni fire si fire? Ni fire si fire? Bei ya kahawa imeongezeka. Kahawa kilo moja 2022 ilikuwa shilingi 70. Leo 120, 130, 140, 150, 160 ikisonga mbele. Ni kweli si kweli? Ni kweli si kweli? Wale ambao ni wakulima wa miwa, mnajua ya kwamba tulikuwa na matatizo mengi, hatukuwa tunapata sukari ya kutosha. We have improved our sugar production in our country from 472,000 metric tons in 2022 to currently 815,000 metric tons. We have reduced the amount of imported sugar by 70%. Tulifanya nini? Tukiongozwa na Rais Ruto, tuliweka sheria mpya, a new sugar act. Ya pili, tukafukuza cartels, wale walikuwa wananyanyasa wakulima. Ya tatu, tukapeana subsidized fertilizer for the first time to sugarcane farmers. We increased the number of acreage under sugarcane production by an extra 200,000 acres. And today, sugarcane is doing well. The farmers, when they deliver sugarcane, are paid every 7 to 10 days. The workers are paid at the end of the month. And for the first time since sugarcane farming was introduced in Kenya, the sugarcane farmers walilipwa bonus kama wale wa majani chai na wale wa kahawa. Rais Ruto, ni fire si fire? That is what we are doing in agriculture. We have so many other value chains. Time will not allow us to discuss all of them. In livestock production, we are producing more more milk than before. In 2022, milk production in Kenya was at 4.6 billion liters. Today, or last year, we have moved from 4.6 billion liters to 5.3 billion liters. Ni fire si fire? The value of our exports of milk products, dairy products, to the regional market, neighboring countries, the value of our export has risen tremendously, and from what we used to have 4.9 billion shillings in 2022, and last year we were able to reach 8.9 billion shillings. Rais Ruto, aendelee asiendelee? Aendelee asiendelee? Our export of meat for livestock farmers has improved by 45%, and last year we were able to export 12.9 billion shillings for meat exporters from Kenya. Na pale Kenani Athi River tuko karibu kukamilisha sasa Kenya Leather Industrial Park, ambaye itafanya value addition ambaye tumelilia kwa miaka mingi. For more than 60 years we have been wanting to add value to leather products so that we can make our own shoes, we can make our own bags, and make more money for livestock farmers. The Kenani Leather Industrial Park is almost 90% complete. Hivi karibuni rais anaenda kufungua ili wakulima wale ambao ni wafugaji wapate faida zaidi, na we grow our industry, our manufacturing, and create more wealth for our country. Ni fire si fire? Niendelee nisiendelee? Niendelee nisiendelee? In the blue economy sector, we are expanding the blue economy. We have already granted beach management units, wale ambao ni wavuvi. Tumepeana grants in 5 counties along the Indian Ocean, in 5 other counties along Lake Victoria shores. We have given grants so far worth 3.2 billion shillings to support fish farmers and people relying on the Indian Ocean and Lake Victoria to earn a living. We are also building fish landing sites. Some of them are complete, others are almost being completed. Along the Indian Ocean, tumemaliza fish landing sites, zingine bado zinaendelea kujengwa, from Lunga all the way to Mombasa, Kidongo, all the way to Kilifi, Kichwa cha Kati, all the way to Kipini in Tana River, all the way to Mokowe in Lamu, fish landing site, to make sure that we don't have post-harvest losses for our fishermen. When they bring fish, they land in a good place. There is a cooling facilities to make sure that the fish do not rot before they are sold. Around Lake Victoria, we are doing fish landing sites all the way from in Migori, upwards into Homa Bay, upwards into Kisumu, into Busia, and already some of the landing sites are complete, others are continuing. And therefore, we are also building a fish quality testing laboratory, one in Mombasa and another one in Kisumu, to support fish farmers and build our blue economy. Kitu ya tatu, number 3, ni mambo ya elimu. Mimi nimesikia watu wengine wakiongea mambo ya elimu. Wacha niseme yale tuliahidi na yale tulifanya. Yale tumefanya tayari. Kitu ya kwanza ambayo Rais Ruto alifanya wakati alichaguliwa rais, aliita wataalamu wa mambo ya elimu. The president put in place immediately after his election a presidential working party on education reforms, which was led by Professor Raphael Munavu. That working party assisted the president and the government to implement well thought out education reforms. And I want to report today, number 1, in 2022, the budget for education was 500 billion shillings. Today, it is 702 billion shillings. Tumeongeza hatujaongeza? Tumeongeza hatujaongeza? Number 2, you look at our manifesto. We sat with the teachers and the other stakeholders in education sector during the campaigns. And we established that we had a deficit of 116,000 teachers. In other words, we did not have enough teachers. We committed during the campaign that we will close the gap so that you can have a good ratio of teachers to pupils. In the last 3.5 years, President Ruto's administration has employed 100,000 teachers, the highest number of teachers employed by any administration in a period of 4 years. Hapo awali tulikuwa tunaandika walimu 4,000 kwa mwaka, 5,000 kwa mwaka. Na kwa sababu tulikuwa tunahitaji kuajiri walimu 116,000 in 5 years, tukaona tukienda na hiyo style hatutafika. And therefore you can see If we continued employing 5,000 teachers per year, it would have taken 20-something years to employ 116,000 teachers, nearly 24 years. William Ruto has already employed 100,000. We are remaining with 16,000. Na hii mwaka tunamalizana na hiyo commitment. Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. President Ruto's administration has also built 23,000 classrooms. Is in the process of building 1,600 laboratories. President Ruto's administration, the UDA administration, the Kenya Kwanza administration has also ensured that going forward, we reduce the number of university students who cannot afford to pay fees. We have introduced a new student-centered funding model that looks at the needs of the individual student as opposed to sending money to universities. And today, I can assure you that many universities that were facing insolvency have come out of insolvency because of the new university funding model. We have increased the money that we give HELB, Higher Education Loans Board. In 2022, it was 17 billion. Last year, 41 billion. We have increased the money we give our universities. In 2022, it was 41 billion, 45 billion. Today, or last year, it was 82 billion. And therefore, I want to hear those who are criticizing this administration in matters education to look at Kenyans in the eye and tell us what facts, what logic are they using in their assessment. Mimi nasema hivi vile vile. Munajua wakati wa campaign, everywhere we went, wananchi walikuwa wanasema abolish CBC. Ni kweli si kweli? Kwa sababu CBC ilikuwa na mzigo, curriculum ilikuwa na mzigo mkubwa kwa wazazi. Mtoto anakuja nyumbani, anaambiwa tengeneza gari overnight. Sijui shona, sijui nini, shona kitenge, upeleke shule asubuhi. Wazazi walikuwa wanasema toa hiyo CBC. Leo mmesikia hiyo kelele ya curriculum ya CBC? Si imeisha? Mwenye kunyorosha ni nani? Mwenye kunyorosha ni nani? Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. Aendelea si endelee? Kwa mambo ya TVET, munajua ya kwamba this government so far has employed 3,300 TVET tutors or lecturers. For a long time, the government had forgotten that sector. Enrollment ya wale wanafunzi wako kwa TVET. You know, ordinarily, kwa sababu mimi ni mtu nimekuwa hapo mbele nilikuwa nafundisha, I can say this: you should have more young people in TVETs and tertiary colleges than in universities. Si ni kweli? But we found an inverted pyramid. There were more students in university than in TVETs. Today, the figure of TVET students, which was at 297,000 in 2022, has risen to 718,000 in 3 years. Today, we have introduced far-reaching curriculum changes in TVET, including modularization, to allow Juakali artisans and other people who want to go to TVET to come in for 2-3 weeks for a module, go back and work, come later for another module, go and work, come for another module, and accumulate a credit system that will give them a final certificate once they finish all the modules. So we have introduced curriculum changes to introduce modularization of the curriculum, to introduce recognition of prior learning, and to introduce the dual training policy that mandates or that makes it mandatory for all TVET students to have industry experience before they graduate. Ni 2 terms, 2 terms. 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 Wacha nione mbwekse ya William Ruto jameni, mbwekse, mbwekse, mbwekse. Wale ambao wanaongea mambo ya elimu tafadhali. I want to reiterate what the party leader said recently. Please don't disturb us. We are trying to sort out the mess you created in the education sector. Tunataka tuwawekee kibao hapo, men at work. Don't disturb. Don't disturb. Wewe abana sumbua sisi. We are busy fixing the problems that you left in the education sector. Fire, see fire. Fire, see fire. And you know what surprises us? The people lecturing us about schools, about education, during their tenure, all these problems were manufactured when they were in office. Shida ya curriculum, shida ya no teachers, no classrooms, all these problems were manufactured when they were in office. And the only track record we know of when they are in office, when they were in office, in that sector of education, is selling land for a school here in Nairobi called Ruaraka. Si kuna ardhi iliuzwa hapa ya Ruaraka ya shule? Si mnajua wale waliuza? Hao watu wawachane na sisi. Tutawaibisha. 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 Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani? Wewe. Wewe. Wacha bwana. Thank you very much. So, wasituchokoze, na wakituchokoza tutawaambia vile tuliambia ule mwingine pale Mbeere North. Tutawaambia vile tuliambia ule mwingine pale Mbeere North. Simulisikia mambo ya Mbeere North? Ile mambo ya Wamuthende? Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani wewe? Bas. Number 4. Naomba tuketi jameni. Naomba tuketi. Number 4 ni mambo ya afya. Munajua ya kwamba we committed in our manifesto to change the health insurance program. Sio ati ni mambo tulianza wakati tumeingia ofisi. We said we will change it kwa sababu ile NHIF ilikuwa na Wakenya 7 million only, na tukasema ya kwamba hii NHIF iko na ubaguzi. Wakenya ni 55 million but only 7 million were covered by NHIF. Ilikuwa lazima uwe na mshahara, uwe na pesa ndio ukuwe na insurance ya NHIF. Tukabadilisha, tukaleta mfumo wa kufanya kila mtu akuwe sawa. We need to equalize everybody, whether you have a job or you don't have a job, whether you have a salary, you don't have a salary, you have a business, you don't have a business. You can fall sick, you need a medical cover which will take care of you and reduce your medical bills. Today, we have a better scheme that is covering more Kenyans. Instead of the 7 million Kenyans that were covered under NHIF, this morning, under SHA, Taifa Care, 29.2 million Kenyans are registered. Na bado tunaendelea. By December tutafika 45 million. By June next year tutafika 55 million. Hiyo ndio inaitwa universal health coverage ya kila mtu. The challenges that we are addressing now going forward is about the availability of the right drugs in time. Already we have decentralized the availability of health commodities. Hakuna haja sasa kubeba madawa kutoka KEMSA inaenda county headquarters. Madawa sasa inaenda direct kwa dispensary, kwa health center, kwa hospitali. We have also introduced a national equipment support program where we are installing equipment in our health facilities, and we are targeting eventually not to concentrate only on level 6, 5, and 4 as was done previously, but we want to take equipment now to level 2 and level 3 hospitals so that they can have the right equipment. Tuendelee tusiendelee. In terms of primary health care, you know, one of the early policy decisions we made under President Ruto was to employ community health promoters. We have 107,000 CHPs in partnership with county government that are helping at the grassroots to educate the public and make sure that we prevent dangerous diseases from accumulating and from escalating to levels where they become expensive to treat. We have 107,831 CHPs supporting communities at the grassroots and helping them so that to prevent diabetes, to prevent hypertension, to prevent other diseases, and also to encourage those who have existing conditions to take their medicine and to change their lifestyles so that they can live longer, because if you have the right medical advice, even if you have a condition, you can live for a very long time. CHPs in fire, see fire. So we have done so much in the health sector. Because of time, let me go to number 5. Job creation. Kwa vijana. Niseme nisiseme. Niseme nisiseme. Many politicians are giving us lectures about unemployment and lack of income opportunities for young people. Many governments have come and gone, but we have never had a comprehensive, deliberate, intentional program run by government for creating jobs and income opportunities. This is the first time under the UDA administration. Niseme nisiseme. Niseme nisiseme. Munajua tuko na program ya affordable housing. You know we have affordable housing where we are building houses for the people of Kenya to give them dignity. We want to increase the number of Kenyans who live in decent places. That program will transform Kenya in a way we will not believe. It will transform Kenya. That is how. Ni Singapore, si Singapore. Ni Singapore, si Singapore. That is how nations are built. And I want to challenge those naysayers who are saying that they will roll back the affordable housing program. I want you to tell us how else you can quickly increase Kenya's gross national income if you remove housing. The countries that the president is talking about all the time, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, all these countries, one of the catalysts, one of the enablers of rapid development is a very well thought out housing and public infrastructure program. Next time they are going to do an assessment, the World Bank, you will see in a short while the placing that Kenya is going to get in the gross national index income per capita. Kwa sababu nyumba moja ni kama shilingi milioni 2, milioni 3, milioni 4. Now, ordinary people who would never have dreamed of owning a house are house owners. So when you count the income of that person, unaanza na nyumba 2 million. Kabla uhesabu ng'ombe na kuku na ngamia, huyo mtu amesonga. Tuendelee tusiendelee? But more than the houses that we are creating and building for Kenyans, we are creating jobs. Already. Na mnisikiza kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mtaenda kuuza manifesto ya chama huko. The affordable housing program, which also has a market construction program. Si kuna masoko pale? Affordable housing peke yake, we have 235 active sites. Last week ilikuwa 230, lakini nimeambiwa asubuhi we have added 5 more sites. We are 235 sites today, active. We have 400 markets being constructed. We are doing hostels for our students, creating 177,000 student hostel beds across the country for our TVET and university students. We are also doing institutional housing that had collapsed for our police, for our prison officers, for our defense forces, using this affordable housing program. And today, the contracts that have been signed, if you add what has just been signed off, we are now approaching 800 billion Kenya shillings worth of contracts under this program. Once they finish the current procurement, we will be achieving 800 billion worth of projects under affordable housing, markets, and also the construction of hostels and institutional housing. But more than that, we are creating jobs for our young people. That sector has now employed 500,000 young people who were not working in 2022. 500,000 young people. The president has directed the ministry and other stakeholders to make sure by the end of this year that program employs 1 million people. 1 million young people. All manner of jobs, architects, engineers, artisans, electricians, plumbers, everybody in between, quantity surveyors, hata watu ya kazi ya mkono wako area. Kwa hiyo affordable housing. So the people who want to roll back affordable housing program should tell us what they will do with the already 500,000 young people working under that program and who are likely to hit 1 million young people by the end of this year. But we also have another jobs and income creating avenue. We are also encouraging young people who are tech savvy to do digital jobs. What have we done to make sure that digital jobs are increased in the last 3.5 years, 4 years? Number one, we have increased the construction of the fiber optic cable by 30,000 kilometers. We are also building G2 labs, ICT hubs, and we are also enlarging that space of ICT connectivity. And today, 316 G2 labs are operational. 403 ICT hubs are under construction. We are on target. We had promised 1,450 ICT hubs. We are already past 700 ICT hubs. We will complete that target ahead of the elections. And the Kazi Mtandaoni program, kwa sababu hiyo ya affordable housing, hiyo ya mambo ya hostels, hiyo mambo ya markets, hiyo yote ni kazi kwa ground. Alafu kuna kazi mtandaoni. ICT hubs, G2 labs, business process outsourcing. That sector now of kazi mtandaoni is employing 300,000 young people. We want by the end of the year to hit 1 million young people working under kazi mtandaoni. We are also having Kazi Maju program. Kazi Maju program. When President Ruto was sworn in, there were so many cartels harassing people, trying to assist people using the pretext that they want to assist them to get jobs abroad. Cartels wakakuwa deregistered. Number 2, we negotiated bilateral labor agreements with about 13 countries in all parts of the world to give legal protection to young people who leave Kenya to look for a job and an income, send some money home, and after a few years, return home and help us to build our country. So now we have a very well-structured Kazi Maju program, as a result of which, by this morning, 538,000 young people are working abroad. And as a result of that, we have increased our diaspora remittances. Ile pesa inatuma kutoka ng'ambo has increased by an extra $1 billion in the last 3 years. Under the leadership of President William Ruto, the Ministry of Labor and other stakeholders have been directed to work with all of us to make sure that the target for the Kazi Maju program also hits 1 million young people by the end of the year. So you'll have 1 million people. Right now ni 538,000 under Kazi Maju. Kazi mtandaoni, currently 300,000. We want to increase to 1 million. Kazi kwa ground, kwa affordable housing, 500,000 today. We want to increase to 1 million by the end of the year. The other thing that the President has helped us to introduce is support for young people who may not have a degree, who may not have a diploma, but they have a talent to do business. So we have the Nyota program, which is ongoing at the moment. Under the Nyota program, we are going to reach to 820,000 young people to empower them to create jobs, to become entrepreneurs, and also to be able to be assisted to access government procurement opportunities. And of course, we are also employing in the public service. I've talked about the 100,000 teachers. We are also helping the private sector to create jobs. So we have a well thought out program for creating jobs kwa ground, kwa mtandao, na maju. Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. Ati kazi kwa ground, kazi kwa mtandao, na kazi kwa ground, kazi mtandaoni, kazi. That is how you transform an economy. That is how you empower young people. Not by inciting young people and telling them they are hopeless, telling them they will never get any opportunity, and you are in leadership. I saw one character telling young people who are graduating, I want to tell you there are no jobs. How do you tell a young person leaving school that there is no opportunity in life? Instead of encouraging the young person, instead of helping the young person understand the opportunities that are available and give them hope as they wait for their turn. And therefore, this jobs and income creation program is going to help us create jobs for around 5 million young people, some working here on the ground, some working in the public sector, some in the private sector, some working in the internet, kazi mtandao, some working abroad, some doing business under Nyota. That is how you empower and transform the young people of a nation. Vijana hoye! Vijana hoye! Mimi najua aspirants wengi hapa ni vijana. That is what your party That is what your party, UDA, believes in terms of empowering young people. Rais Ruto aendelee asiendelee? Aendelee namna hiyo? Very quickly, infrastructure. Infrastructure, barabara zilikuwa zimekwama. When President Ruto was sworn in 2022, all the contractors on Kenyan roads had stopped working. The roads that were started in 2014, 2015 had stalled across the country. Some of them stalled in 2018, others stalled in 2019, others in 2020. By the time President Ruto was sworn into office, we had pending bills owed to contractors of 190 billion Kenya shillings. President Ruto has paid all the pending bills for all the contractors, and therefore I can proudly confirm to you that all the stalled roads, the contractors are back. If they have not arrived, they are on the way, and those roads, we have enough money to build and complete them, a total of 6,000 kilometers. So our roads project, our roads program is back. Electricity, last year, not last year, in 2022, we had 8.8 million households connected to electricity. We have added an additional 1.3 million households in the last 4 years, and today we have 10.1 million households, 10.1 million households that are connected to power. Ni two terms. You have seen what the president has done around the Hustler Fund to bring financial inclusion. 7 million Kenyans who were listed and CRB blacklisted, today they have been removed from the blacklist the way we had promised in 2022. There is now Hustler Fund, which has been enhanced to give loans up to 150,000 shillings without logbook, without security, without collateral, as we had promised during the campaigns. Ni kazi si kazi. Ni kazi si kazi. The national savings, and listen to me on this one. When UDA government took power, the amount of money we had saved at NSSF was 320 billion shillings for 62 years. 320 billion shillings, 62 years. The last 2 years alone, NSSF now, the savings we have saved as Kenyans, because this is our money, has risen from 320 billion. We have doubled it. We have surpassed the double mark. We have raised an extra 350 billion. Today, NSSF is sitting on reserves of pension of 690 billion shillings. That figure is going to help us, because we will reach 1 trillion in the next few months. That is the money that government will borrow to do high return infrastructure or infrastructure projects with high returns, so that we stop borrowing money from overseas. We must redeem our country from the indignity and the embarrassment of having to borrow money around, because the money we get from World Bank, the money we get from overseas partners, it is money that has been saved by citizens of other countries. That is the money they loan the World Bank. The World Bank loans us that money. We will borrow our own money and remove Kenya from the shame of relying on foreign money. We are on the road to freedom. Say freedom is coming. Say freedom is coming. Say freedom is coming. We are on the road to freedom. I want to end my remarks by saying this about the future. First, we have done a good job. We are the first party in the history of Kenya that has governed using a manifesto and is following step by step, chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph, sentence by sentence, to make sure we implement that manifesto. Ni kweli si kweli? Si ni manifesto yetu. You will get a copy of our manifesto. The president is going to speak to that. You will also get the progress report, ama scorecard. So utakuwa na manifesto, what we promised and what we have achieved, so that you know what is remaining. So the president has led us to think about the future. And we have reflected on the future. And we have come to a firm and irrevocable conclusion that it is possible to transform the economy of Kenya from third world economy status to first world economy status in one generation. Let me repeat. The president, who is our thought leader, has helped us to envisage a new Kenya. We have come to the firm and irrevocable conclusion that it is possible to transform the economy of Kenya from third world economic status to first world economic status in one generation. And that's why Kenyans must be very, very firm and refuse any policy disruption that can roll us back. Because Africa and the developing world suffers from policy disruption. Unasikia mtu anasema atabomoa affordable housing, atabomoa SHA, atabomoa sijui nini. We need continuity. We need continuity. Not for 5 years, not for 10 years, not for 20 years, not for 30 years, 40, 50 years of continuity to transform our country. Other countries have done it. South Korea did it. Malaysia did it. Singapore did it. China did it. Kenya can do it. Ni fire, si fire. Ni fire, si fire. So the president has told us we must modernize our infrastructure, have more roads and superior roads. And if we continue at the pace we are doing things, we will not achieve this dream. That is why we have come up with the National Infrastructure Fund, which was in our manifesto. We had said in our manifesto that we will bring the National Infrastructure Fund. We have now brought it. The National Infrastructure Fund will help us get enough resources to build enough roads for our country. And therefore, since 1963 to now, we have built 20,000 kilometers of road. During a similar period, Japan has built 1.1 million kilometers of road. So, President Ruto has said 1963 to now, 20,000 kilometers of road. The next 7 years, 28,000 kilometers of road. Pesa tutapata wapi? Kwa National Infrastructure Fund. Ama namna gani jameni? Wale wanapinga National Infrastructure Fund, unapinga barabara. Na mnapinga uchumi wa Kenya. Ni kweli si kweli? Ni kweli si kweli? So we have to modernize our roads. We have to have money to modernize our roads. And you have seen, we have paid all the contractors for the stalled road projects. We have started dualing Rironi Mausamet Road. Ni kweli si kweli? And we have so many other dual carriageways we want to do, including Machakos Turnoff to Emali, including Kitengela to Namanga, including Marwa, Nanyuki, Isiolo, Makutano, Embu, Meru, and so many other roads. across the country. Hii Rironi Mau Summit haitakomea Mau Summit. Branch moja itaenda Eldoret, iende Bungoma, iende Malaba. Hii ingine itatoka hapa Mau Summit, iende Kericho, iende Kisumu, iende mpaka Malaba, Busia, iende Busia. That is what we are doing for our country. We need more roads now, not tomorrow. Now, not tomorrow. We need to increase our railway from Naivasha and take it to the border with Uganda, and then we connect with the rest of the region. The railway construction from Naivasha to Malaba, in a few months, President Ruto is going to break ground. And we have not borrowed money. The first SGR we built using debt. This one, we are building using innovative funding models. We are using our own resources. Hata hii Rironi Mau Summit, hakuna deni. Na hakuna kuongeza kodi. Niseme nisiseme? Niseme niseme? Silimulisikia wale watu walikuwa naita bosi yangu Zakayo. Zile wasikia? Those characters, they are in for a rude shock. Because, you see, the president is a scientist, but he is also a thought leader. He understands that to build a nation, you don't look for short-term populism, quick fixes that will evaporate the next week. You must plan long-term. Even if it is turbulent now, you must plan long-term. Like a captain of a long haul, a long flight. If you are the captain of a long flight, 15 hours flight, you must plan the whole journey. Do not be disrupted by the turbulence during takeoff. You must steady the ship. You must steady the vehicle until you reach where you are reaching. Niseme nisiseme? Hii ujinga ya kutafuta umaarufu wa leo ambao utaisha kesho, tuwache kama Wakenya jameni. Isn't it? Now, mumesikia waziri wetu wa fedha anafanya public participation ya budget. Niseme nisiseme? Niseme nisiseme? Because now the ship is a bit steady. Because now we are on the cruising level. The turbulence is gone. The plane now is stable. It is steady. President Ruto is bringing legislation, tax amendment laws. This February, tunaweka sheria bunge, tukiongozwa na William Ruto. Any Kenyan earning below 30,000 will not pay tax. Fire, si fire. Ni fire, si fire. Wale watu ya Zakayo wamezama wajazama. Watu ya Zakayo wamezama. We are going to reduce tax so that people earning an income of less than 30,000 shillings will not pay any tax. Kama rais wetu angeingiwa na woga, if he was a coward, if he didn't make the hard decisions in 2022 to steady the economy, we will not be talking about exempting Kenyans from paying tax today. Na sijui kama mnaelewa, hiyo group ya less than 30,000 and less, 1.5 million Kenyans who are going to be exempted from tax. Rais Ruto, ni fire, si fire. Ni noma, si noma. We built more roads. We built more railways. We built a new airport. And the solution, National Infrastructure Fund and the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Kwa hayo mengi, Rais Ruto, ni fire, si fire.
dunia gumu mno, umetutoa mbali. Aya, UDA, 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 UDA. Kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi. Harambee, harambee, harambee. UDA, UDA. Kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi. Salala. Ni leo si leo, ni leo si leo. Basi tunaweza keti. Ndugu zangu wanachama wa UDA, kwanza wacha nichukue nafasi hii kuwashukuru sana kwa kunipatia nafasi ya kuwa kiongozi wa chama cha kitaifa, chama ambayo kinaelewa mambo ya Kenya, chama ya UDA. Mimi ninasema kwa heshima kubwa, asanteni sana, asanteni sana. Narudia tena kusema asanteni sana. Ya pili, mimi nataka nichukue nafasi hii niwakaribishe hapa State House leo, kwa sababu ninyi ni wanachama wa UDA na muko hapa kwa sababu chama ya UDA ndani ya Kenya Kwanza ni chama ambayo inaendesha serikali ya Kenya, si ndio? Bila chama ya UDA mimi singekuwa hapa State House, si namna hiyo? Kwa hivyo nasema asante sana kwa Wakenya wote, na mimi nimefurahi sana, nasema karibuni, karibuni, karibuni hapa State House, na karibu katika mkutano huu wa viongozi wa chama ya UDA. Mimi ninaelewa ya kwamba kila mmoja wenu hamjakuja